Fine. Okay. I can see, okay. Show it is recorded. Okay, I'm also good. All right. So I just want to say one thing. Those who are still in live, okay, they can connect with me on Zoom. So there is a link on the description box. Okay. In the description box, you will get the link for the Zoom. So you can connect through that. Okay. Is my voice clear to everyone? Is my voice clear to everyone? Okay. Did you guys try the task I gave you? Have you guys tried the task? Okay, I can see yes. It's great that you guys have tried the task. Okay, let me just quickly check if we have any questions. Okay, then we have, okay, console not working. Rudra, I mean, the console is something which is a part of the browser. Okay, so you kind of need to check, try running your code in some other web browser. Okay, that will help you. Okay, so explain third question. Okay, let me explain this question. Before that, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Is my screen visible to everyone? Yes? Okay, perfect. Let me quickly walk you all through this doubts, whatever doubts you have. Question number 3, let's open that. Okay. So this question you're asking some of the digits of a number. Okay. Let me explain. So what do you need to do in this question? Let's say there is a number, let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we want to find the sum. So this is a one single number. Let's say var x is equal to this number. So I want to do 1 plus 2 plus 3, which will give me 6. Okay. In future, it could be like this also. It could be any number. In future, it could be any number like 1, 0, 3, 4. Okay. So 1 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. 8. So this is what we want to find. Okay. So how we can calculate this is the best and the easiest way to do this type of question is that you do find the divisor. Okay, and like you do the modulus and there you will get the value of 3. Okay, then leftover value you will do the division. Then you will be left with the 12. Again, you will apply modulus on this. Okay, like you will do 123, let's say x modulus 10. So you will get 3. Okay, and if you do x modulus 10, you will get 12. Okay, same. Now you will do this, store this in a sum variable. Okay, and again you will apply modulus on this. X modulus 12, it will give you 2. Okay. And then you will do the sum 3 plus 2. And similarly, you will get 1. Okay. And you will do the sum of all 3. Same you can apply on this very part. Mm, my voice is clear. It's strange. Why is it not clear today? Okay. Just give me a moment. Just give me one moment. Okay. Is my voice clear now to everyone? Is it better now? It's clear, right? Okay. So team, I just one request, don't spam the chat box unnecessarily. Okay. That would be great. Okay, let's continue with today's agenda. Okay. I'll just pull up my PPT. Okay. So this is what we are going to see today. Okay. So we are going to talk about arrow function, which is extremely important part in. Then we are going to talk about some important array helper functions introduced in ES6. Okay. Then we are going to talk about objects, which is again very important. Okay. Then we are going to talk about function expression versus function declaration. Okay. So this is what we are going to talk about in today's session. Okay. So first of all, team, if you remember yesterday, we saw how to create a function. Okay. Last lecture, yesterday's session, we saw how to create a function. Okay. So this is how I created a function. So function keyword, function name, round brace and curly brace. Okay, this is how I created it. Now there is one more way we can create a function using arrow function. Okay, so majorly this is the reason arrow function was introduced for the syntax, simpler syntax and the return keyword. So these are the major two reasons this was introduced. Okay, we are going to see both of them one by one. Okay, so arrow function is nothing but another way of creating a function, just like we have a normal function. Okay, so this is how we can create function keyword. This is how we can create a normal function. Function keyword, let's say add and curly brace. Okay, and this is how we can call the function. This is what we saw in yesterday's session as well. Okay, now next we have function keyword multiply, let's say round brace and curly brace. Okay, this is what we have as another function. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I am going to remove this function keyword and I'm going to add equal sign and a fat arrow. Fat arrow is nothing but equal and greater than sign. This is called arrow function or fat arrow. This is also called fat arrow. Okay, this is also called as fat arrow. Okay. Now we can call this multiply from here. Okay, and we can simply pass whatever data. Let's say here we pass 10, 20. Similarly, I can pass here, let's say console.log of a, b. Similarly, I can do a plus b. So rest of the working is same, like the function body is same. So just like you pass arguments from here, in the same way you can pass arguments from here, x, y. So you will, let's say I'll pass 10, 2. So I'll get here x, y. So 10 will go in x and 2 will go in y. Okay. All right. Now I can just write console.log of x star y. Okay. Guys, just one thing I just checked with the team as well. Okay. So if I go to console, you can clearly see I'm getting 30 as well and 20 as well. Okay. 30 is coming from here and 20 is coming from here. So this is another syntax and it's very easy. You just need to remove function keyword, add equal sign here and greater equal sign. That's called fat arrow. Okay. This is what was introduced in ES6, ECMAScript 6. Okay. In 2015. Okay, this is the first difference. So first difference is a syntax difference. Okay, first difference is of syntax difference. Now next we have here is return keyword. Okay, second difference is of return keyword. For example, in the function team, we can do something called return keyword. Okay, there could be a case when we have a function. Okay, and we want to return some value from a function. Okay, it could be a case like that. I have a function and I want to return a value from the function. Okay, so what we can do is from here, I can just write return a plus b. Okay, so what happens once you return a value from a function? Let's say I'll remove this console. Okay, what I'll do, I'll directly write return a plus b. Return is the last statement you can add in a function. From there, it's going to be the value will be returned. Okay, so now you can see this a plus b. I will just put a console here. Whatever this function will return, that will come in store here and it will display the value. For example, when this function is called, this function will return a plus b, which is 10 plus 20, and this will give me 30. You can see 30 is coming here. Okay, 30 is coming here. Now, next we have here the same thing. If I want to do in function arrow function, I can do here as well. Okay, so यहाँ पे हम लोग लिख सकते हैं return x multiply by y. Okay, there are few rules like you can't write anything after return. So return is going to be the last statement in your function. Okay, so same thing will happen here. Whatever this function multiplies returning, I can just put it in console. Okay, so this is also working fine. This will also give me 10 into 2. Okay, let's say if I send 4, then 10 into 4, 40 it will send me. Okay, so I will get the same value. Okay, so first difference is the syntax. This is how we used to declare the function. Okay, with the function keyword, this is how we declare it now in ES6. Okay, using this fat arrow. This is called fat arrow. Okay. Second difference I'm explaining that here you can write a return statement in a normal function. Here also you can write a normal return statement in an arrow function. Now the difference is here in arrow function, if you have single statement in the function body and you have a return statement, मतलब arrow function में जो function body है यहाँ पे एक ही statement है और वो return है, okay? आप इसको और shorter कर सकते हो. आप क्या कर सकते हो? Remove the curly brace and remove the return statement, and that's it. It will still give you the same output. See, it is still giving me the same output. Okay, I am getting the same output right now as well. Okay, so now you can see these are the main two difference we have. Normal function, this is called normal function declaration. Okay, and this is called as arrow function. Okay, so these are the main two difference we have. Is it clear to everyone? Right, I can see a lot of yes. That's great that it's clear to you all. Okay, so this is how you can create a normal function, and ES6, of course, once you get a hang of it, once you practice few questions, which I will give you all today, you will realize that this syntax is very beneficial because you can see 3 lines of code can be done in just single line of code. Okay, all right. So first difference was of syntax. Okay, and second difference is of return statement. All right. Let me just quickly check if we have any questions. Okay, I think everyone is saying yes. It's great that it's clear to you all. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, next up we have is, after this, we have something called non-primitive data types. Okay, if you all remember, yesterday I talked about 2 type of data types. Okay, one was primitive. Okay, one was primitive. And the another one we have is non-primitive. Okay, so we have 2 type of data types, primitive and non-primitive. So primitive, if you remember, I said string, number, boolean, null, and undefined, right? Similarly, we have something called non-primitive. So non-primitive is going to be our arrays. It's going to be our objects. Okay, so this is what we have in non-primitive data types. Okay, so now this is what we are going to talk about today. Okay, and based on this, we are going to see very important part that is called array helper functions. Okay. Okay, I can see some students are saying there are students who are saying we have joined late. I'll do one thing, and in the end I'll do a recall. Okay, but it would be great if you join on time tomorrow. Okay, but I'll do one thing, in the end I'll recall this arrow function and normal function difference. Okay, for you. All right. So this is what we are going to discuss now. Okay. So first of all, we have arrays. So arrays are used to create or store multiple values in a single variable. Okay. So we can store multiple values in a single variable using arrays, and same for objects. Okay. So if you remember yesterday, I created string, I created number, but I was storing only one value. Okay. For example, I want to store 5-6 string values. Okay. And let's say I want to store a lot of string values. Okay. In a single variable. I can do it using arrays, for example, colors. Okay. And to work with arrays, again, in ES6, this important array helper functions were introduced, okay, which will help me to work around with arrays by just writing a simple code. Okay, so whatever I'm going to do with for each, map, and filter, you will see we also had ways to do it in normal JavaScript. Okay, but with the introduction of ES6, I can do it simply with these three methods. Okay, so let's see how to create an array variable. Okay, if you remember yesterday, I created one array of number. Okay, if you recall, yeah, last lecture I created array of number. Okay, so today I'll create array of another number of strings. Okay, and we'll use these methods on that. Okay, so let's see. So here I have, let's say, all right, let's write arrays. Okay, so firstly, let's create an array. Let's create few arrays. Okay, so that you have a clarity what array data type is. So we can create an array, let's say, of number. So I'll write here square brackets and comma separated. I can add a lot of numbers. So this is going to be array of number. Okay. Similarly, I can create, let's say, colors array. So I want to store multiple value. Let's say pink, comma red, comma blue, comma orange. So you can see I'm able to store multiple values in a single variable called colors. Okay. This is called array data type. This is called array data type. Okay. All right. We can see few questions. Arrays, yes, sir. You know, array has a lot of methods, but I am our like today our main focus is going to be these three main methods. Okay. Yes, that's correct. Difference between for loop and for each. Okay. For each is not a loop. For each is a method. Okay. For loop, if you recall, Ishwar, yesterday we saw that, right? That's for loop. For each I'll cover after like in today's session. For each is a method. Okay. That's the difference. All right. Okay. All right. Again, I think I had 2 to 3 students still saying they joined late. No worries. In the end, I'll recall the first slide. Okay, but in the end. Okay. All right. Let's see these methods. So let's start with map. Okay. And today you will get to know a very important part, difference student from all over the world, right? So this is the reason we are preferring prefer using only English language. Okay, but if you have any doubt, you can do one thing. You can tell me, like, I'll repeat that part in Hindi. I can do that. Okay, but the whole lecture is supposed to be delivered in English. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay. Vinay, everyday note I am sharing through GitHub. Okay, so in the description box, you'll get the link of the notes where you will see the GitHub link. So yesterday's code I've already provided with, on GitHub. So today also I'll provide it on GitHub. Okay. All right. So the map is used to iterate over an array. Okay, iterate over an array means you can go to each and every array element. This is called array elements. Okay. So this is how we can write. They all are methods, okay, functions basically. So I'll write here num dot map. Okay. So this is called map. This is predefined function for a arrays. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to pass a function here. Okay. That function is called callback function. That function is called callback function. Okay. Why am I writing a function inside this? Just see. I'm going to write a function inside this. Okay. And I'm using arrow function. Let me show you both the syntax. If I'm using previous syntax of function, then I will write it like this. If I'm using previous syntax of functions, I'll write it like this. Okay. If I'm using new syntax of function, I'll write it like this. Okay. So this is also there. This is also there. So using normal function syntax, you can write it like this. With arrow function, you can write it like this. Okay. Now, what does it takes? It's all predefined. So you can imagine map is a function which is created in the backend. And here I'm just using it for my use. Okay. So it is helping me to iterate over this array. Okay. So now what will happen here as a callback parameter? Okay. You'll get some values. Okay. The syntax is like this. Now dot map, you pass callback. Basically, you pass a function. That function is called callback function. Okay. And here you will get something called parameters. They all will be predefined. Okay. So let's say I'll write here element. If I do, let's say return Let's say I want to multiply each element by 2. Okay. So now what will happen? For, just like, in for loops, we have iteration. The same way you can imagine 10 will come in this element. 10 multiplied by 2 and it will return. Map function always return something. It returns an array. Okay. So you will get the result here. Okay. So map result, it will come here. So what will happen in first iteration? Okay. 10 will come in element, 10 multiplied by 2 is 20. So what it will do in this map result, it will store 20, comma. Next iteration, you will get 2 here, 2 multiplied by 2, 4. That will go and store here. Okay. Comma, 3 will come here, 3 multiplied by 2, you will get 6 here. Okay. Similarly, you'll get 8, 10, and 16. Okay. So what will happen? All the array elements will be multiplied by 2. Okay. And I can just write it here, map result. All right. Now let's see the output. Here you can see all the elements are multiplied by 2. Here you can see. Okay. All the array elements are multiplied by 2. Okay. All right. So here you can see. Now, today only I showed you something called a shorter syntax with return. Okay, today only I showed you. So you can apply it here also when you have a function body of arrow function. Arrow function, it's a single line of code which is returned. So you can remove the curly brace, you can remove return statement, and you can bring it to a single line. See, so same thing you can do in just a single line. You will get the same output right now as well. Okay, you'll get the same output here as well. Okay, Harshda, what we are trying to do is we are trying to see map function. So map function, what we do, it used to iterate over an array, comma, it returns a new array. Okay. What contains in a new array? Whatever you're returning from here. Okay. So whatever you will return from here, that will go in each iteration one by one. So let's say I want to multiply all the array elements by 2. Okay. So here what I will do, I will simply add, let me write return statement again. Okay. Let's say I'll write return. So what I'm trying to do is num.map. This takes a callback function. Okay. It returns, map function always returns something. Let's say element multiply by 2. So that is what will go and store in map result. Okay. Once it will go and store here, you can console it. You can see you're getting an array which is multiply all the array elements multiplied by 2. Okay. This is map result. Okay. Now, why am I writing a function here? Why am I removing? So now you can see today only I showed you this part now. Shorter syntax for writing return keyword. So I can just remove this. Okay. And I can bring it to a single line. Okay. You'll get the same output now as well. Okay. All right. Now, similarly, we have something called ForEach. ForEach is also used to iterate over an array. Okay. ForEach is also used to iterate over an array. The next question comes, what is the difference? Okay. ForEach is also used for the same thing. Okay. Now the next question comes, what is the difference in map and ForEach? The difference is ForEach is also used. It's the same syntax like name a num dot for each. Okay. You pass the callback function here and you can just write, let's say, again, you will get the callback parameter, let's say E, console.log of E. E will contain all the array element values. Okay. So you can see I'm getting all the array elements here. So this is working fine. Okay. Now next question comes, what is the difference between map and for each? The difference is for each never return anything. Okay. Like map function returns something. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let me write it in a more like it in this way only. Okay, so that you can analyze that this function map is returning something and for each is not returning anything because for each never return anything. Okay, it's important that for each never return anything. Okay, and this return something. That's the difference in them. Okay, so for each when to use? For each is just used when you just want to iterate and display something in UI. That's it. Okay, like this. But map is used when you want to do some operation on it and you want to get it as a separate array result. Okay, that is where you use it. Okay. Okay, I can see few doubts. Let's see. Can we get so yes, team, you'll get the code in the end. And so yesterday's code also I shared, right? Through GitHub. So today's code also I share it through GitHub. Okay. All right. ELE is I would say called callback parameter. It's the container. It's a variable to hold the value, hold the space for this way array element. So for example, what will happen? First iteration 10 will come here, then 2 will come here, 3 will come here. One by one, the all array elements will come. Okay, that is the holding space. Here also E 10, 2, 3, 4, all the array elements will come one by one. Okay. All right. Next, we have filter. Okay, I hope this difference is clear. This is asked in interviews that what is the difference in map and ForEach. Okay, next we have filter. Okay, filter is used to filter the data based on some condition. Okay, for example, I want to get all the values. Let's say I want to get all the values who's greater than equal to 20. Okay, from this array, I want to get all the array elements which is greater than equal to 20. Okay, I'll tell you the use case of this later, like in real time where we use it. For now, let's see. Okay, so I'll write here num dot filter. Same process, same callback function you pass here. Okay, you return something from here. Okay. What you return here, you also get callback parameter element. Element will hold all the array elements one by one. Okay, you need to pass a condition here. Okay, let's say element greater than equal to 20. So what it will do? Firstly, element, let's say 10 will come. 10 greater than equal to 20 condition is false. Then it will go to next array element, then next. Wherever it is set to true, let's say for these two, it will give me those two array elements which is greater than equal to 20. Okay. And here I'll get filter result, let's say. Okay. Now if I console this, you will see I will get only two array elements or all the array elements which will pass the test. Okay, let me put some 40 here, 20 here. Okay. So you will see I have added few array elements and you can clearly see I'm getting four array elements here. 20, 40, 20 and 30. Okay, so now I can clearly say one thing that the array elements which pass the test, okay, will be returned. Okay, now where you can use it. So you can use it in application like if you have you guys applied for voter ID card online? Have you guys applied for voter ID card online? Right? You all must have applied for a voter ID card. So if you see in voter ID card, if you mention your date of birth, right? You mention your date of birth. Okay. If your date of birth is greater than, okay. If your date of birth is greater than equal to 18, then only it will allow you to process your form. Otherwise, it will say no. Okay. Or so that is where you can use these. Okay. Or you can think of it something like you want to get all the mobile phone. Let's go to Amazon. Okay, let's take an example. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's say let me pull up Amazon. Okay, so let's say I'm looking for iPhone, some iPhone, let's say 16. You will see I will click on the price band or I'll click on the color. Okay, so let's say if I click on the color, just look at it. I'll click on color. Okay, you will see what I'm doing. I'm filtering. So I am getting all the mobile whose color is black. So what I'm doing here, filter. This is exactly what you're doing here. You are filtering the data. You're filtering this array based on some conditions. So I'm saying get me all the array elements whose value is greater than equal to 20. So you're getting that here. This is exactly what you're doing in website also. Okay, you're doing filtering here. Filtering based on color, based on pricing, okay, based on brand. This is exactly what you're doing in your with your arrays as well. Okay, all right. Return after federal business or return after where is it? Sorry, I didn't get your question. Prince, can you repeat using return after? Okay, you are asking this part. No, it's not compulsory. Let me do one thing. Today only I covered this part. So you can have a shorter syntax. So this syntax can be written like this. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me write it and put it in comment. Okay. So this is similar to this. So what I have written here is similar to actually in with arrow function, you really don't have to write this. Okay, with arrow function, you really don't have to write this return keyword. Okay, if it's a single function body. Okay, all right. Himanshu, I just said you will yesterday's code also you must have got through GitHub. So you will get the description link in the YouTube live video. Just check the description link of the YouTube live video. Okay, you'll get the link to that GitHub repo. Okay, so I have pushed all the code. Today's code also I'll push to the same repo. Okay, all right. Okay, Kaushik, we have so many array helper functions. I mean, okay, let me do one thing. Let me tell you quickly. We have a lot of array helper functions. This is what we kind of planned for today. Okay, because we have a lot of things also need to be covered, but this will give you an idea to how to get started. Okay, for example, you can check out some basic array helper functions like push, pop, filter. Filter I've covered like shift, unshift. Then we have splice. Okay, index of, last index of, reduce, sum, every. These all are array helper functions, what I say. Okay, so you can study about these. Okay, all right. Now, team, after this, we have something called high ordered functions. Okay, so now what are high ordered functions? High ordered functions are the functions which can take another function as an argument and return or can return function as the result. Okay, so let me read it again. High ordered functions are the functions, means they are one of the type of functions that can take other function as an argument. Okay, so can you see map is taking another function as an argument? Okay, so if you remember yesterday, if you recall, I said this. These are called arguments. When you're calling a function and you're passing an argument to them, like 10, 20, right? So just like this, if you look at this map syntax, in map, what I'm passing a function. Okay. So hybrid functions are the function that takes another function as an argument. Means map function is taking another function as the argument. Can you all see, are you all able to relate to this part? That map function, okay, map function is taking another function as an argument. Okay, for example, if I write here num.map, okay, I can pass, this is a function, I can pass arguments, like this is how we can pass arguments, right? Instead of this, I'm just passing a function. So function which is taking another function as an argument is called hybrid component. So all your map, filter, for each, then we have sum, every, they all are called high ordered function. This is very important. Okay. So this hybrid type of functions generally asked in interviews. Theoretically, you can like what are hybrid functions? So you can clearly say a function which is taking another function as an argument or returning a function also, that is called high ordered function. Okay, for example, map, filter, for each, they all are array helper functions. Okay, okay. Yes, I get that's correct. These are the all array helper functions. Guys, don't be too concerned about GitHub link. Don't worry, I'll share it in the end with you all. Okay, all right. Or you can get it from the description link as well. Oh, concat. Okay. Ishwar, you're asking for concat. Let me explain that. Okay, we have concat function also. So it works like this. So concat is used when you want to merge one or two or more than two arrays into a single array. Okay. So this is how we can do. Let's say num dot concat. Okay. And you can pass comma separated rest of the arrays you want to merge. Let's say colors. Okay. So you will see these two arrays will be merged into a single array. You can see. Okay, now dot concat, comma, if you have another array, you can pass that. Okay. And they you can just write here merged and I can just put it in console. Okay, so it will return a new array which will have all the arrays merged. You can see. I'm getting a new array having all the array elements. Okay, that's concatenation for arrays. Okay. All right. Swastik reduces used to reduce an array to a single value. Okay, I'll give a quick idea about that also. For example, you have num array. Okay, you want to do this, you want to reduce this complete array into a single value. Okay, you want to reduce this array into a single value. Like you want to do sum of array elements or you want to do multiplication of array elements. Okay, at that time you can use this. Okay, I've given one assignment also based on this today. Okay, so that you can practice. Okay, concat is used to merge two or more than two arrays. Okay, so you write num, the array one dot concat, it's a predefined function, and you pass comma separated. Let's say if you have more arrays, you write comma separated. You will get a new array having all the arrays elements merged into a single array. Okay. Uh, yeah, no, second, no one asks you although like no one will ask you like basic one, like what should I say, splice, the basic one really someone asks, they ask you something called ES6, like they ask you something like this, map and ForEach difference, map and filter difference, these type of, they ask you, not the basic ones. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I have answered all the questions. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay. So just remember this higher order function. So all your map filter, which is any function which is taking another function as an argument, that's a higher order function. Okay. All right. Now, team, next part we have as an important is called objects. Okay, this is also important. That objects are also used to store multiple values into a single variable, and objects is a very important in JavaScript because at the end of the day, if I break it down, everything is in the form of objects. Okay. Everything is in the form of objects. That is how it is. Okay. I'll explain it. Okay. And then I will show you with some website example where objects are being used. Okay. All right. Let's check. So this is how we create objects. Okay. So object is one of the non-primitive data types. Okay. All right, so let's say I'll write here some object. Let's say, let's create an object for a person. Okay. Just like a person have some properties. Okay. Let's say person can have first name. Okay. Let's say Alina. Then person can have last name. Let's say Joe. Okay. So this is the syntax. Let person equal to curly brace. Just like here you have square brackets in array. In objects, you have curly braces. Okay. This is called property and this is called value. So we write here property, or we call it as key value pair. Okay. So in objects, we store value in the form of key value. Okay. So first name is called property and this is called value. This is called property. This is called value. For example, age is going to be property. This is going to be a value. Okay. We can have another object also inside the object like this. Okay. For example, contact number. Okay. I can write anything here. Okay. Let's say email address. Like this. Page contact is can, so we, the point here is you can have more objects inside of one object. Okay, inside one object I can create more objects as well. Okay, so here also you will see I'm able to store multiple values, like let's say is married, false. Okay, so you can see I'm able to store string, number, boolean, another object inside this. Okay, you can have array also, like let's say favorite color. So I can have an array of favorite color for this person. Let's say pink, comma, violet color. Okay, so point here is in the object you're able to store all the data types. Okay, that is the beauty of objects, and you store values in the form of key value pair. Okay, and you cannot have two properties to be same. You can't do something like this. Okay, property is something which is always unique. Value can be same. Okay, this part can be similar to some other thing, but this property is always going to be same. That's the beauty of objects. This is how you create object. Okay, so just like you can always think of it like, let's say there's a person, what properties a person can have. Let's say a book, what properties a book can have, like title, author, number of pages, number of lessons, number of chapters. Okay, uh pricing. Just like you look at any object, and for example you look at any object, say look at the table, what properties a table can have. You look at your laptop, what configuration and properties your laptop can have. Okay, that is what exactly what object is. Okay, so this is what object looks like. Okay, now once you have this object, you can do some manipulation. For example, how to access the value of this object. Okay, so object is created, how can I access the value? So let's see, let's display some value from the object. So first thing we have is dot. Okay. So object name dot any property. Let's say I want to display first name. Okay. You will see I will get first name in console. See? Okay. Plus, because it's a string, I can do concatenation, right? I can write person dot last name. Okay. So using dot, you access these. Okay. Using dot, we use these properties of objects. Okay. So person dot first name, person dot is married, person dot age. Now let's say how to access contact number. Same process. So what I'll write here, console dot logger. First of all, the property is these are the properties we have for person. Okay. So contact is a property of person. So I'll write person dot contact. Okay. So you can see I'm getting object here because contact is object. Now, how do you access the property? So now person dot contact will give me the contact object. Okay. Next question comes, how can I access contact number? Just write dot contact number because okay. This is how you can display. Okay. Or you can do anything like if you realize you want to add new property to object. Okay. Later on, you realize you want to add a new property to object. Okay. So how can we do that? I can simply do something like person dot. Let's say I want to add a new property called designation. Okay. Or let's say city. So I realize there is a city property I forgot to add and later on I want to add it. Okay. So I can just write the object name same way dot city equal to Pune. Okay. Now let me console my complete object called person and you will see city is also added. Can you all see city Pune is added? Can you all see city is added here in the object? Yes. Can we see that? Correct. So now you can see city is also added here. Okay, so this is how you can add a new property also easily to object. Okay. If you want to delete, let's say you realize you don't need a property in an object, you want to delete it. Okay, how can we do it? Just write delete keyword, okay, and the property you want to delete, like person dot, let's say is married, I want to delete. I'll say is married, that's it. If I console this person again, you will realize that is married is deleted. See, is married is not there anymore. So is married is deleted. Okay. Okay. I can see one question. How to add space here? Simple. You just need to write plus and a string with a space. A space is added. Okay. Because we know yesterday I told you that strings always concatenate. So when you write plus between two strings, it concatenates. So this first name, space, last name. Space is added. Okay. So this is how you create an object and this is how you can make some changes or access it. Okay. Now, where you are going to use objects. So team, we actually don't use objects alone or in real time or array alone. We use all of them together. Okay. That is called arrays of objects. That is supremely important. You go to any website, you go to Netflix, you go to Amazon, and let me show you Amazon also. Okay. You go to any website, you go to Amazon, you go to Netflix, you go to Hotstar, you go to Myntra, you go to Nykaa, you go to any brand, any website. Okay. You will see all the data is stored in the form of array of object. Okay. Always remember. Let me show you, for example, let's say want to store product data. Okay, I want to display I want to store all the products data. Okay, so how will I store it? This has that array of string because this has all the array element as string. Okay, in the array, if you write all the elements as object, so it will become array of object. Right now, in this array, I have all the elements as object. Okay. So what I can see here, this is going to be my array of object. Okay. What I can add here now. Next question comes, what can I add here? Okay. So you can just write let's say product will have some ID, let's say 101. Okay, product will have some title, let's say iPhone 16 Pro something. Okay, it will have its original price. Okay, let's say I'll just keep it 90. Randomly I'm just writing. Okay, discount on this, discount price. Okay, I can just put it here, or let's say discount, let's say 15. Okay, later on once we are calculating we can make it 15%. Okay, then I can give image. Okay, product image. Okay, so this is how you will get the data, product image. Okay, uh similarly, since it's mobile data, okay, or you can have category also. So you can have category also. Okay, let's say this is a category of electronics. Okay. Further, you can have something called subcategory, like mobile phone. Okay. Then you can have something called brand, product brand. Okay. Let's say iPhone. Okay, so what I can say from this part, that this is my one object. So this one object is equivalent to one product. Okay, when you go to Amazon, okay, you see anything. So you can see product list, this product 1, 2, 3. All these are products are nothing but array of object. Similarly, when you go to Netflix, you go to Hotstar, you go to Prime, you see movie data. What is that? Is nothing but array of object. Okay, then you go to let's say any Facebook, let's say, what who we all are using Facebook, we all are users of Facebook. Our data is stored in the form of objects. So you can imagine we all are nothing but objects in Facebook database. We all are nothing but object in Amazon database. Okay, we all are nothing but objects in Netflix database. Okay, so and there is a rule, whenever you're creating an array of object, all the properties has to be same. Means I can copy and create this here, but the property should be same. Okay, the property should be same. Values can differ. Okay, for example, I'll just write here micromax. Okay, let's say some 2. Okay, and here price, I'll just make it 12. Price, I'll just make it 12. Okay, electronics mobile phone brand is micromax. Okay, like this. So the point here, ID will also change. So the point here is value will be different. The property will remain same. This is exactly what you will see here. If I go to any product here, okay, the values are different. If you look at this, all the page structure is same, right? Can you all see all the page structure is same? Right? The page structure is same. Only the difference here is of data. Okay, how this data is stored? Array of object. That's why it's important to understand. Okay, and let me show you a few free API. So all this data actually comes from an API, just to give you a quick idea. Okay, uh, so here you can see. So for example, this is a free API which gives you user data. See, so you can also see this is one user over here. This is one user. This is second user. Okay, what you can see here is the properties are exactly same. Property is same. Okay, the thing which is different is values. Okay, even here the data comes from an API only. Okay, I'll give you a quick idea. I just don't want to make it too confusing for those who are, looking at JavaScript for the first time. But just to give you a quick idea, all the data comes from an API. You can see all these images, all the data what you see here, it's all coming from an API. These images you see, okay, they all are coming from an API. All the data. Okay. So that is why array of object is important. Any website, you go to any government website also, we all are stored like an object. Okay. So next time you access any website, okay, next time you look at any website, always remember that that we just look at with in the perspective of data. Okay, you look at it with the perspective of data. Okay. Similarly, you can have array of just like products, movie data, user data, employee data. Okay. Spotify also you can look at it. Spotify is also nothing but all the music data, right? based on category, based on, let's say, for example, in Spotify, based on artist data, there is audio data. Okay, so that is also array of object. Okay, so this is what we have. Clear? Any questions? Okay, I think I can see few questions. Okay, let's see how to update a property. We can update property also. Okay, actually, update and add is very similar. I'll show you. So what you write in update of property of object is same as in add a new property, same as object person dot. The way you write new property, the same way you update. Okay, for example, I'll update age equal to 25. Okay, so now what you will see if I console it. So what happens in this syntax, if you see this syntax and this syntax is same. To update a property in an object and add a new property in an object, the syntax is pretty same. Okay, so what's the difference? The difference is that how it works is that the browser will check, okay, in this object. If that property already exists, like age, then it will update. Okay. If that property does not exist, then it will add. Okay. But the syntax part is exactly same. Let me show you. Here you can see. Can you all see 25 is coming here after changing the value of age? Okay. 25 is coming. Okay. I can see a few questions. Okay, one second. Okay, Sonika, just to give you a quick idea, what is an API? API stands for Application Program Interface. Okay, so when you're developing a website, it has two things, for front end and back end. Okay, so for front end, you will have something like the UI, what you look at. When you open any website, what you see is called front end. Okay, for example, if I open Amazon here, okay, what I see here is going to be my front end part. Okay, let me give you a quick walkthrough to everyone. Okay, I can see a lot of questions related to full stack and front end and back end. Okay, let me give you guys a quick walkthrough. Okay, just a moment. Okay, this is opening. Just give me a second. All right. So So just to give you a quick idea, because I can see a lot of questions in this. So team, a website has two parts. Okay. Front end and back end. Okay. So front end have a different tech stack. Okay. Front end is what you look at when it's called UI also, client side also, what you see when a website opens. Okay. So we have a different tech stack for that. What tech stack we have is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React JS, okay, jQuery. Then we have Vue.js and Angular. This comes in front end. Okay. Back end, we have Node, Express.js. Okay, one second. Express. Let's remove it. Okay, let's add it here. Express.js. Okay. Then we have Node.js. Then we can use Java also. We can use PHP also. Okay. PHP you can use for front end also. So these are the major tech stack we have. Okay. These are the major tech stack we have, which comes under front end and back end. Okay, I think those who were asking, and these two all put together is called full stack. Means nowadays Merge stack is very famous, Mean stack is very famous. That is nothing but Mongo, Express, React Node, Mongo, Express, Angular, and Node. Okay, so that's why they are pretty popular these days. This is called full stack. Okay, it's like you learn JavaScript. Once you learn JavaScript, you can learn front end also, back end also. Okay, that's why it's pretty popular these days. Okay. Then of course you have like CSS further have a lot of things, like CSS further have a lot of styling framework like Bootstrap. Okay. Then nowadays Tailwind CSS is very popular. Okay. JavaScript has this libraries. These all are JavaScript libraries. React, Angular, Vue. Okay. This is also a JavaScript framework, Node. Express is a Node framework. Okay. All right. I hope now you guys have clarity on that part. Okay. Let's go ahead. So we have seen a basic idea how to create object arrays and how to add values. Okay. And how to manipulate the values. The next we have here is, okay, function expression versus function declaration. Okay, this is also important. And while doing it, I'll give you a very like a quick idea about how this works. Okay, this function declaration and function expression. While doing it, I'll give you explanation, and I'll give you idea about one more topic called hoisting. Okay, that is also important. It is asked in interviews as well. What is hoisting? Okay, so let's see. Okay, all right. So firstly, we have function declaration. Okay, declaration is exactly what we did yesterday also and today also. See, this is called function declaration. This is called function declaration. Okay, so this is how the declaration syntax looks like. Okay, so you write function keyword. Okay, you write any function name. Let's say let's upgrade. Okay, so this is the function I've created and I can call it from here. Okay, this is called function declaration. Simply, this is called function declaration. Okay, and the same thing if I want to do called function expression. Okay, that is when you create a variable, let's say const, let's upgrade is equal to function. Okay, this is called function expression. I'll show you the difference of these as well. You can call it like this. So your function body is also same. Okay, the calling of the function also remains same. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm simply saying that I'm calling this function. Let's upgrade. Let's say it will just return. Let's say learning platform. Okay, I just added this. Okay, here also I'll just write here. Let's console. Okay. So it's a learning platform. Here also I'll add the same thing. Learning platform, bootcamp. Let's say I'll added this two lines over here. Okay. So what we are trying to see is this is called function declaration. When you write function keyword and like this, and when you store the function inside a variable, that's called function expression. Okay. In a simple words, that's called function expression. Okay. Now I'm calling it from here and I'm calling it from here. Let's see what I'll get here in the output. Okay. 1 second. So can you see both the things are coming? Okay. Can you see learning platform is also coming? Learning platform bootstrap is also, bootcamp is also coming. Okay. Both the things are coming right now. So this is working fine. Okay. Now let's make some change to my code. Okay. So I mean, of course, I declared this function. This is also working fine. I declared this function expression. This is also working fine. Okay. Now I'll do some changes. I'll cut it. Okay. And I'll paste it here. Means the function that I was calling, the function that I was calling from here, I'll cut it and I'll paste it here. Okay. Now also you will see it is working fine. Okay. Let's comment it out for now. You can see this function with the function keyword I was calling from here. I just cut it and I'll add it here. Still, it is working fine. It is still giving me the same learning platform. You can see it's working fine. Okay, means from here I can see one thing that I can declare function anywhere. I can call it from anywhere. Means if I'm declaring a function here, I can call it from here also. Okay, I can call it from here also. Okay, you can see now it is coming here. Means I can declare function anywhere and I can call it from anywhere. Okay, that is what happens in this sentence. This is working fine. Okay, means I declared a function and I can call it from anywhere. I can call this function from anywhere. Okay, in this JavaScript file. So this is what declaration means. Okay, Now let's try to do the same with this. So this function that I created here with storing a function in a variable. Now if I try to call it from here, it will work. Okay, now let's try to call it from here. Okay, now you will see I'll get an error. Cannot access let's upgrade before initialization. What does it mean? That in function expression, if you create a function with the function expression syntax, you cannot call it before it has been defined. That's the difference. Okay, let me repeat. In function declaration, this syntax, okay, you declare a function. Let me remove it. You can declare a function and you can call it from anywhere. This let's upgrade. You can see learning platform, this one. I can call it from here also. I can call it from here also. I can call it from anywhere. Okay. When you are declaring a function with this syntax, with the function keyword, and without storing the in a variable, you can call it from anywhere. But when you are declaring a function with like this, with function expression, okay, you can, if you try to call this before its definition, you will see it will give you error. Okay, that's the difference. That you cannot access this let's upgrade before its initialization. Okay, this is the concept of hoisting. Okay, this is the concept of hoisting, which basically means that whenever you try to declare a variable, okay, and you initialize it somewhere else, you declare it anywhere, okay, and you like you call it from anywhere. JavaScript will take this function and bring it at the top of this calling. Like it will take the initialization at the top of its current scope. Okay, so here this function will go and reside here. Whenever this function will go in the browser, how it is working, JavaScript will take this function and it will hoist it here. Okay, hoist means taking something at the top. For example, we hoist the flag on Independence Day, Republic Day. So what we are doing, we are taking flag at the top. Similar way, JavaScript will hoist this function here. Okay, this is the reason it's still working. Okay, but JavaScript will not hoist this function because this is function expression. That's the difference here. Okay, that will, if you're declaring a function with function expression, you have to call it just after it has been declared. In function declaration, you can call it from anywhere. Okay, this is also something can be asked in interview. Okay, all right. Now you can use arrow function. Let's say if you want to use arrow, same. Okay, you can use arrow function also. Okay, there's no difference in terms of you're using arrow function or function keyword. Okay, main point is this. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have some error. Let upgrade is not defined. Let upgrade. Okay, one second. Okay. All right. Do we have any questions? Let me quickly check. Okay. All right. I think I can't see questions any further. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. Okay, with the next thing. Now, team, we have one more thing called JSON. Okay, now that is also important because all the data that comes from an API, it's in the form of JSON format. Okay, whatever data comes from an API, it's always in the JSON format. Okay, so basically we have two things here. Okay, uh, let's see. So JSON is basically JavaScript object notation. Okay, what does it mean? That it is one of the ways for storing a value. Okay, it's what is the difference? It's lightweight. Okay, that's why we use it. So basically, when you're sending data from front end to back end or back end to front end, basically when you're transporting the data from front end to back end, back into front end, you store the data in the, you hold the variable, okay, in the form of JSON format because it's lightweight and it takes less memory. Okay, so this is how you create. So simply, I'll do something like this. You write, let's say, string. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create a normal array. Let's say let array equal to, I'll just put some numbers in this. Okay. Okay, so I've added few numbers here in this array. Okay. Now what I'll do, array dot stringify. Okay. JSON dot stringy. So basically in JSON, you need to learn two methods. One is stringify, okay, and one is parse. And you pass array here, and you will just put it in console. Okay, that's it. Now just look at this. Okay, what you get here is not array. If you look here, when I was consoling array, this is how arrays used to look, right? This is how array data type is displayed in console. This is what you see is a string. So what they have done, JSON string is like this. So this part is coming in the form of string like this. So this array is converted to this. Okay, that's the difference. This to this. Okay. So now the difference between this array and this JSON. So this is called JSON. Okay. JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation, which helps us to store some values in a variable. Okay. Why we are doing this? The reason is pretty simple because it takes very less memory. Okay. And whenever you're storing data, let's say you're passing data or transporting data from front end to back end or back end to front end, while it is being transported, we want the data to be lightweight. That's why we use it. Okay. So same, I just created an array, I converted it, I stringified it, means I converted this array to a string. Okay. But it is not a normal string, it's a JSON string. Okay. So it will be converted something like this. Okay. Same you can do for arrays and objects. Let's say I created one person object today, right? Let's stringify that. So I'll write here. So JSON. So do we really use it in terms of while, let's say, do we operate anything on this JSON data type? No. On this JSON format, we don't operate. So when you are sending data from front end to back end, you will just convert it and send. Okay. And once we get the data from the back end, we get it in the form of JSON, we'll just pass and get it. We really don't do any like manipulation on this JSON format data. Okay. I'll just pass person. You will see this person, what you see here. Okay, you will get it in the form of JSON format. You can see where first name is also a string. Okay, let me copy and show you. This is how it will be. Okay, this is JSON. First name, colon, value. First name, last name, colon, value. Okay, this is how it will be. Okay, so this is what we use when you're sending data from front end to back end. This is what you will send. You will stringify it. You will convert arrays and objects to, this is only for arrays on an object. You will convert array and object to JSON format. And next thing is parse. You convert this JSON format back to array. Okay, so let's do one thing. I'll do one thing. Let's store it in a variable. Okay, and I'll just put here console.log of data. Okay. Now this is my JSON format, you can see. So what I'll do, I'll operate on same JSON.parse and I'll pass data. Data is basically JSON data. Okay. And I'll put it in console. You will see this JSON format now will convert to object, you can see. Okay. Firstly, I converted this object to JSON and then I'm showing you how to convert that JSON to object. Okay. And same for arrays. So JSON, you just study these two methods, stringify and parse. Okay. And when to use stringify? When you want to send the data. Okay. And parse is when you're getting the data in JSON, you convert it to. Okay. All right. Uh, can I see any question? Uh, I think there is no question as of now, I can see. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear to all? This JSON is clear? Parse. Parse is what parse is doing. It is converting JSON format back to array or object, whatever it is. Okay, for example, you can see this was my, let's say I'll show you. Let's say this was my person object. Firstly, I converted this person object to JSON format. Okay, I converted this string to my JSON format. You can clearly see. I am getting the JSON data also. See. Then what I'm saying, I'm showing you how to convert this JSON data back to object. So you just write JSON.parse Okay. So parse is what converting JSON format to array or object, depending on whatever is coming. Okay. And on the other hand, this is converting, okay, stringify is converting array or object to JSON. Okay. And why we need to parse it? Because we really don't operate on JSON format. JSON format is only used when you send data from front end to back end or servers to servers. Only for that part we use it. Okay. Okay. Yes, it's lightweight. Okay, I'll show you from diagram. Just give me a moment. Let me quickly open this Miro board. Okay, from here I'll show you. So let's say I have front end here. Okay. And front end could be anything. It could be a laptop. It could be any device where you can open a website, and you have backend here. Okay. And somewhere here your APIs reside in between. Okay. So you have front end here. Front end is nothing but laptop, you can imagine, a website. Okay. So when you are sending data between these two places, when your data is between this, okay. So front end you're working with arrays and object when you have to send it to the backend. So while sending it, we are following JSON format. Okay. Why? Because JSON is lightweight, okay, and it will save a lot of memory for us. Similarly, when backend is sending some data to us, okay, backend is sending some data to us. So it will also give me data in JSON format. So what I'll do here, I'll parse it when I'm receiving. I'll stringify it when I'm sending. Okay. So we just have these two methods only here. And even if in future, let's say you have some connection from servers to servers. Okay. You can have connection from server to server also. There also you will use JSON format. Okay. Is it clear, Ashwini, and to others? Return statement we use majorly in functions, Ramya. When you are working with functions, at that time you have this return statement. Majorly you use it there. Okay. नहीं मैंने file नहीं use किया है. I just converted this object that I had to string JSON, and then I was showing the same from that one. Okay, I didn't create a new. Okay. Okay, Ishwar, constructor function is altogether a different whole topic. Just to give you a quick idea, in JavaScript, okay, JavaScript is object based. So we majorly don't have any, we didn't had any concept of object oriented programming. So what happened in, just to give you a quick idea, ES5, okay, we have this function constructor, okay, where you convert, where from there you actually learn that functions are also treated like object. Okay, but in ES6 the object class concept was introduced. There also you have something called constructor function. Okay, so this constructor function, if you're asking from class, it is the constructor function is whenever you create an object for any class, that is the first thing that is called, okay, to initialize the values. Okay, and this function constructor is altogether a different topic where you actually see that functions are actually treated like object. Okay, that's the topic of prototype. Okay. Okay, so team, now last part, that is your task. Okay, so these are the three tasks. Okay, and the last one was actually from a real time interview. Okay, ये एक interview का है question which was asked in interview. These three you can practice. Okay, so what you need to do is you have this data. Okay, data I've already given. You can store it in a variable like let x equal to this. Okay, you have to get all the person name based on age. Okay, greater than equal to 18. So basically this is the array of object. You have to get all the person names, like you want to display all the name whose age is greater than equal to 18. So you'll get Joe and Alex in this case. Okay. Then what you need to do is you have this array and you have to concatenate like this. Okay. Then you have this array of object. Okay. You have to do sum of all the salary. Like let's say where you can use this. Let's say in a company there is a HR department. So closure. Hoisting, I explained, Kaushik. Hoisting is all about taking initialization at the top of the current scope, which I showed from here. This is hoisting happening here. Because hoisting doesn't work here. Okay, but hoisting is happening here. So tomorrow team, our main focus would be DOM manipulation. In that, I'll do one thing, Kaushik. I'll give you guys a quick idea about asynchronous programming tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Ramya, third question. This one. Okay. So the third question is, this is the array of object. You have to get the salary of all the. So you have to do the sum of all the salary. So this salary plus if there is any other record. Okay, and you have to display the total salary. But it's an array of object. Okay. The third question was one of the interview questions. Okay. All right. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. Okay. If you guys have any questions. Yes, Ashwini. You can put it in the chat box if you guys have any question. Okay, no. All right. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. I hope it was informative and knowledgeable for you all. Okay. Uh, okay, Harshada, I have a question. Harshada, there are many ways to make website responsive. One of the ways using media queries. Okay, then you can use this third-party CSS frameworks like Bootstrap we have, Tailwind we have. So that is how you can make website responsive. Okay. Manoj, it depends on the city when you talk about the salary. So of course, if you live in a metropolitan city, you can easily expect 5, 6 easily. Guys, I'll tell you a quick idea how to practice in online interview questions. Okay, so basically there are three type of interview questions asked in. Okay, first type of interview question is always going to be a theoretical where they will directly ask you like what is promises, what is asynchronous programming in JS. What you can do in that is you just open Google and write in JavaScript interview questions. Okay, so those are direct interview questions you can study. Second type of interview questions is going to be scenario based or coding question. Okay, so what you can do in that is you can go to ChatGPT and write, let's say main topic is DOM, promises, ES6. Okay, so you just write scenario based, promise based questions, scenario based, DOM manipulation interview question. You'll get the scenario based, which is asked in interviews. Okay, and third is code snippet where they will give you code snippet and tell you what is the output of this. Okay, tomorrow we'll be working on DOM manipulation. Okay, that's the main part for tomorrow. Okay. Uh, Developer Linux, if you can see here, I'm using callback. Okay, so callback is actually one of ways to make JS asynchronous. So application of callback, if you talk about, is going to be your array helper functions like map filter. I'm using it here. You can see it yourself. Here you can use. Okay, and if we have one topic called set time timing event, set time out and set interval. You can read about it. That is where we are using. Okay. All right. I think yeah, tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow we will have some basic app. I'll show you how to add element, delete element. So tomorrow's session will be more UI perspective. Like in UI we will work. Okay. All right. Yes, yes. Lakshmi Narayan, the only thing is you just need to practice. Okay. You just need to like gain all the skills. That's important. Okay. Of course, Kaushik, I clearly mentioned this in yesterday's session as well. Demand is obviously going to be there because every website, every brand needs a website, online present digitalization you need. It's just that how good you are, how skilled you are, okay, that will really makes a difference, makes you different from other developers. Demand is always going to be there. And of course, it's important you learn ChatGPT also. It's important you understand prompt engineering, you understand how to use these as the tools instead of getting scared from it. Just try to learn all these, I would say. Okay. Nakul, team, the Let's Upgrade team will share the uh, GitHub link with you, or anyways, you can get it from the description of this YouTube live link. Okay, you will get this GitHub link from there. Okay, how to host? So you what you can do is you can use Netlify or you can use Vercel to host your website. Okay, I think I've answered mostly all the questions. I hope, Dhanush, okay, so team, yesterday also told you, I'll give you guys one project statement tomorrow. Okay, that will be like a bonus, which you can, like a front end project I'll give you. Okay, if you guys have, like want to practice it, you will have it handy with you. Okay, I'll give you guys one project tomorrow. Okay, I think we can wrap for the day. Thank you guys. It was nice connecting with you all. We'll connect tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. So do join through Zoom link on time. Okay. Bye. Have a nice day tomorrow.